Hey everyone, Brendan with Harley here. So we're about to take our bike to get the performance upgrades. Very excited. Can't wait to show you guys what's going to happen. Say goodbye to the old and we'll revisit with the new. Peace out. Hey guys, so just arrived here at Maztec, aka Horsepower Headquarters. Tell you what, the Harley heavens opened up on me. It was bloody crazy. My jocks are all wet, but excited to be here because this is now, it's the start of something special. Walking to the shop now. Have a look at all this. Pure effort. I think you might want to bring another set of jocks. Looks like we are walking up to the man himself. Tell us a bit about what you do here, mate.
Okay, firstly, I'm Anthony Rodrigues, been in the tuning game for 30 odd years now, developed a lot of management systems, a lot of race cars, pretty much travel the world from all levels of motorsport, cars, boats, bikes, you name it, we've pretty much been into it. Basically, my whole ideology is that it's all to do with burning air and fuel. Burn it right, you make a lot of power, and you keep it reliable. It's not just about making power, you've got to keep things very even and efficient across the board. So, everything as you've seen, got everything in here. That's actually the Australian record holder. Front wheel drive, 4-cylinder, naturally aspirated, runs 940, so that speaks for itself. Just finished actually the last bike to go on before the other bikes, Nathan Shawcross's bike, one of the big APE packages, 143. Previously a 10.2 second bike. She's going to go 9s because it's got 25, 30 horsepower bike. You can probably see everybody loves a dyno sheet. A dyno, there, power and torque. Now if anyone knows what they're looking at, there's your torque curve, there's your power curve. Technically,
I'll zoom in on that because that needs to be seen to be believed. That's pretty amazing.
Pump fuel, all pump fuel, road ridden, street type. Still actually got all of the street gear on it and that sort of deal. They're the extremes. We also do 103s. This is just stage one. We're doing that. I pretty much tune for a lot of the dealerships that we have here in Melbourne. Any of the problem things normally responsible for. All the quickest turbo bikes with Lee Robson. So horsepower he calls himself. Street V-Rod running 920s. Breakouts, a street breakout that runs 960s, front shifted, all hand shifted, the whole lot. So yeah, you pretty much, we crossed the board. We got involved with AP over the last 2 or so years. Yeah. Their gear is great. Mark Harris up there, door slammer racer himself, knows his shit. Developmental side of things, gets involved with Cyclorama, the camshafts that they have developed, gets on, we give them feedback, we go backwards and forwards. Wow. They've pretty much got a cam for everything, and it's just next level stuff. I couldn't have believed that we'd be at the levels that we're at. I constantly ring him up and ask him, Mark, should it make this? Is my dyno wrong? Is something going on? Because it's just absurd. But as I said, whether it be a door slammer, Ducati track bike, Harley Davidson, your cruiser, whatever it is, it doesn't know. The piston doesn't know. It comes up the board, gets air. Now you throw fuel at it, you got to burn it. Depending on the load, you want a certain mixture because it can only tolerate a certain temperature and a certain load without hurting rings or burning pistons, things like that. So yeah, we just basically apply the normal principles to the whole lot.
You're making my brain spin, mate.
Well, wow. Fortunately, because I come from Rodrigues, I'm a very cautious tuner.
Yeah.
you don't get a second chance with a rotor. These things are very robust and they're like almost like tractor engines, you know. So
well, you were recommended. You were told. I was told you're the best, so that's why I rode an hour and 20
we'll
to
give
get
it
out.
our shot. I've put as much enthusiasm into your bike as what I do in my bike, and I learned all of my Harley stuff on my own Harleys. I ride them, I love them, I own them.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of people watching this will appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully, what we're going to do today, what we're going to do with this particular bike, it's a typical dealer combination. It's what they do.
Yeah, so
and it's probably it's a good combination for power and performance for the dollar that you spend. But if you ever go and change to a crazy camshaft, you need lifters and this thing, and a lot of the time they don't get done. We'll see, we'll go through that. But we'll try and use it as an example of your typical upgrade from whether it be a dealer or a usual shop, and then we'll show you what the APE combinations are capable of. You know, really the sky's the limit. As I said, that bike's ridiculous. That's too much. It gets to a point where it becomes too much. 143 cubes making 180 horsepower and 180 foot-pound. I rode it. It's frightening. You know, so it's probably I would probably only do that combination for a few riders that we have, because you've got to be fair to the rider. I don't want to hurt people. We don't want to see it. And there is a point where it's just ridiculous, and we try and be responsible to our customers. But when some people say I talk too much and we're too enthusiastic and what have you, it's not that. We try to pick and match the packages of the bike to the rider. The only way we can do that is by meeting you guys, working out what your riding style is. Do you like the hills? Do you like the track? Do you like cruising? Do you just like going to cafes? Do you want something that just sounds really cool when you pull up at your mate's place? What do you want? Do you sit on the highway? I've got mates that ride to Darwin every year, 2-3 days on a bike at a time, so it depends on what you want.
So it's very personalised. What you do is very custom, very personalised for the person and their style of riding.
Yep, and the process and the time that we put into every one of them bikes, whether it be a torque cam and a cruiser, we go through exactly the same processes while using the dyno, so that we cover all the bases. Right? Yeah. I have a policy pretty much so once I've tuned a bike, I'm responsible to tune. I don't own it, it's your tuner, but I'm responsible for that tuner. If there's any issues with it, come and tell me so I can rectify it, right? If not, if I give you the bike, you don't think it's better than it was before, I'll load your tune back into it and hand you your money back, and you can ride off into the sunset. More than happy to have been done that for 15 years on Harley Davidson, never had to give money back. So
that's unbelievable.
Well, they are. If a lot of people don't realise, they are all based off GM parts. Right. This perfect example here, this 103, this front section, 96, 103, all the earlier stuff. This front section, if you get a V8 350, first generation 350 Chev, the cylinder head, the size of the cylinder head, the valves, the piston, the bore, the whole lot, almost identical. That's where it all comes from. Right. So if you put your if you use all your formulas based off a 350 Chev and that, that allowed me, because I know what I do when I was previously done a million Chevs, and then all of a sudden the tune-ups in these bikes were completely different, And they've come now obviously from carbies, they've got closed loop, they've got ion sensors in the ignition, so it measures the knock and corrects for it to save your engine. So don't have people that use a power commander, not the power vision, the power commander, that take the O2s out of the equation and take the ignition. You don't do it. They're the biggest technical advances that Harley Davidson have had forever. It's basically a Delphi or a type of an ECU that is running your LS Commodore as well. So there's no real difference. All of those things need to work hand in hand, and we keep them all active, so that then you can not only you say, wow, this bike rides fantastic, but in 50,000 kilometres when you come back, it still rides fantastic and it's still in good condition. So it's all in there, use it.
Well, I like doing stuff on my own, sometimes on my own bikes and stuff, so you probably guys would have seen some of that stuff already, but there's no way I'll touch this sort of stuff, and that's why I came to the Master. So what's the plan now, mate? What are we going to do? We're going to give it a dyno?
We'll take all the bags and that off it. The way it is now, what we might do just to make it a bit more conclusive, We'll put it on, we'll tune it, and we will show you the mixtures. As I said, we'll go through, we may even do another bit of a tutorial on what we want out of the mixtures after we've done them, right? And you will see what it's doing, the way it's written in. Then what I might do is just I won't throw a lot of time in it, but we'll just throw one of my files into it that I believe should be a bit closer. We'll run it up and see what it's got. So then we've got a fair base, because there's no point comparing this that's got a terrible tune-up in it to something that then we spend a lot of time and make right. So we'll do that. We're turning this baby to 128. Look at the size of it, it needs the cubes. See the size of the bloke riding it, it needs the cubes, right? So we're going to do that, all the intake, we're making more capacity, so we're flowing more air through the entire system. So we're upgrading the throttle body, we're upgrading the intake manifold, we're putting larger injectors in it, obviously to supply the more fuel to go with it, and then we'll tune it. In this case, we're in a situation where we can have nice heads on it. He's going to upgrade the heads. So it should also be very comparative to the 131 with the bigger heads and valves that the Screaming Eagles have. We're going to use the 485 cam because it is a touring bike. You can go with the 515s, which is a great bike, but more of a top end thing. I believe the 485s are going to show it nice crowd, more cylinder pressure down low, where this is going to love it. 6 gears, just pull the throttle at 100 and right away, pull past people without gears in it. So if we can do that, if we can get that done, put it all down, then we've got the dyno that tells us. And we won't even get into numbers. If we start with 10 bananas and we finish with 13 bananas, I'm going to be very impressed. So I don't want to argue about this dyno, that dyno. In case you don't realise, I run both a Dynamics bike dyno and I run a Dynamics car dyno. Anything over 200 horsepower on a bike, this will not hang on to. So it's a single roller, it does run off inertia. I can actually get into more zones on the bike on that. But now we also use this, we pretty much use this so I can keep both dynos going, and also too, so it is comparable to the other shops with bike dynos, because they do breed different. There's 4 rollers on this, there's only 1 on this. So, we try to accommodate everyone, but we won't get into, oh, my dyno, this stuff, I don't care. This is a tool. As I said, if we start with 100 bananas and we finish with 120 bananas, I'm going to be very happy. And I think the customer will be.
All right, so we heard a lot from the master. If you got any questions for him, put it in the comments and I'll get them to Anthony, and I'll
try and answer them as we go.
Anthony will answer them as we go. So, got any queries? Call Maztec, call Anthony. He's going to put it. He's going to answer everything that you need, and come and see him. Come and see him, because mate, he's blown my mind, and it just started.
Don't mean to confuse you, mate. Don't mean to confuse you. Just try to explain.
Too late.
It's better to educate your customers so they know what you're doing for them.
Awesome. All right. Well, we'll end it here for now, and we'll get on to it.
Great to meet you all, guys. See you
later.